Welcome to the Wise Ashes. My name is Virginia and I'm the founder. I am here today to welcome you to my new community. The Wise Ashes was born out of my own life experience, my own pain, my own burning down of my personality, my identity, the things that I associated with since childhood. Recently I had a surgery, and that surgery really shook up my internal world. And the result of that was an awakening to the idea that I needed to shift. It wasn't going to be the world that was going to shift, it was how I was viewing the world that needed to shift. Because all of my experiences were truly just an accumulation of images, experiences that I translated from the outside to the inside. And honestly, that is what most of us do. Now, we're really very rarely taught to take ownership of those thoughts. And I am extremely passionate about sharing tools, tips, and my own life experiences where I used words, language, to try to shift my own internal experience. Because at this stage for me, at almost 60, I realized no one was coming to save me. There were going to be no apologies. There were going to be no ownership on other people's part, or at least very rarely are you going to have the experience where the other person says, you know what, you are right. It was all me. So I wanted to create a system, a process, a structured way of thinking that can support your sovereignty. Now, this word gets thrown around a lot, maybe even in political ways. But for me, the definition of sovereignty is I own my thoughts, my life, my perceptions. I choose from a conscious place the direction I want to go. Sometimes I choose to sacrifice. Sometimes I choose to stand by my own principles, my own boundaries. And life is truly a series of choices. Now, that is not to say that bad things don't happen to us. They do. Other people make bad choices, and sometimes we suffer the consequences of those choices. But the real truth is we can never change those experiences, especially if they were in the past. So our true only option forward is to shift our perspective on how we view those experiences. Now, one of the tools that I always use is, what was the meaning in that? What did I learn from that? And most importantly, where was I in that situation? What part of them is a part of me that I refuse to even look at? So that I can take ownership of that and use that experience to benefit me, not harm me. Now, I'm not trying to be Pollyanna here. I understand that we get hurt. But resilience is built from the inside out. Resilience comes from our ability to acknowledge an experience, shake it off, or process through it. I'm not saying ignore it, because there's a lot of spiritual bypassing that happens. I'm saying use that information, process through that information, extract it for what you want it to be so that it becomes something that empowers you, not disempowers you, and then move forward as a different person. Now, the Wise Ashes uses the C.L.A.R.I.T.Y method. I created this method for myself. There were some experiences happening, the surgery, my mom had surgery. I got into a disagreement with my niece, who I adore. And through those experiences, I realized that I was, unfortunately, emotionally ill-equipped to manage some of those situations. And age is just a number in that area. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser or that you've learned how to navigate your emotional life. So the tool is there to free you, not capture you. I'm not here to capture you as a client. I'm here to provide resources and tools that will help you free yourself, because that's what the Wise Ashes is all about. Freedom of self. It's in the title of my book, Clarity, a process for clear thinking, conscious choice, and self-authority. So if you're willing, ready, and able to accept your life, your choices, how you experience life, but you just don't have the framework or the system or the tools to navigate some of your emotional waves, then welcome. I'm here to welcome you to the wise ashes, not because I'm wise, but because I'm human, because I've been where you are, most likely, not where everyone has been, but I know pain. And these tools help me get from basically victim, why me, to I can handle what life throws at me, bring it on. And it's not because I like pain, but it is because I've become confident in how will I navigate pain? How will I navigate joy? Because life is not all about going up. Life is beginning, middle, and ends all throughout the human experience. So once again, I want to welcome you to the Wise Ashes. If something brought you here, I encourage you to stay here. Navigate the pain, navigate the questions, become more curious, dig in, and build some resilience, because life will definitely provide you the opportunity to use those skills. So welcome to the Wise Ashes.